Sai as Lord Shiva. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswati Namaha. Om Sri Samartha Sadguru Sainathaya Namaha. Baba, in the 10th and the 15th chapters of Sai Satcharitra, said that he is the servant of his devotees and that he can be found in everybody's hearts. Before proceeding to the actual topic, I request you to accept my pranams as Sai Banisa. In the year 1992, Sai granted darshan to me in a dream in the form of my favorite deity Lord Shiva. Later, I visited Shirdi and sighted a similar photograph as seen in my dream, which I purchased from a shop to keep it as a memento. As I was reading the holy book Shiva Mahapuran, I could feel Sai as Lord Shiva at every step. When I was reading Guru Gita, Sai appeared to me as my Sadguru. The genesis of Shiva Mahapuran: India is a country gifted with beauty of nature in abundance, full of green fields and chirping sounds of birds and rhythmic sounds of the flowing waters from sacred rivers. Prayag is one such place located on the banks of holy Ganges. Prayag is of sacred importance to Hindus as the river Ganga originated from the lotus feet of Lord Sri Mahavishnu. Waters of the river Ganga and Yamuna unite with each other and continue further as single stream from Prayag. Many years ago, Saunaka Mahamuni and his Sishyas performed Mahasatra Yaga in Prayag. Large number of saints, Maharshis and Tapasvis turned up to witness the great event of the time. Suta Mahamuni, along with his Sishyas, also graced the occasion. Suta Mahamuni was the son of Romaharsha and he was a trusted Sishya of Vedavyasa. Very soon, Suta Mahamuni commanded respect from all quarters for the expertise he had gained on variety of subjects. He was highly knowledgeable in every field of study. All Maharshis felt happy to notice that Suta Mahamuni was also coming to attend the Mahasatra Yaga and were waiting eagerly to welcome him. The eminent people gathered there praised Suta Mahamuni for the wisdom possessed by him. Naturally, the gathering expressed a desire that he should address them with something new and important, so that they shall be blessed on an eventful occasion like Mahasatra Yaga. All sections of people unanimously wanted him to speak on a topic that would be of interest to everyone in daily life, as well as grant peace, create harmony, and help in their spiritual growth. Suta Mahamuni said that he would talk on the subject that would eradicate all evils beside freeing one from sins and worldly affairs. He said Shiva Mahapuran would grant wisdom and enhance one's faith in God while appreciating God's own creation. It will also remove the ajnana from the roots and kindle the lights of wisdom and help in understanding God and His deeds. Shiva Mahapuran, as it is named, will be totally different from what you might have listened in the past. Those who engage in regular reading of Shiva Mahapuran will become enlightened souls. Those who listen at least once will be rid of all evils. Those who undertake fasting on Chaturdasi day and deliver discourse on Shiva Mahapuran to a gathering of devotees shall command respect from all. Then Guru Gita. Guru Gita is the subject which deals broadly on the virtues to be possessed by a guru and also his duties towards society. Guru Gita is a part of Skanda Purana. It is also known as Sanat Kumara Samhita. Guru Gita is an outcome of conversation between Parvati and Parameshwar. Sanat Kumara Samhita is divided into 3 chapters and consists of 351 beautiful slokas. It is like a lamp guiding those in search of God. One can derive true pleasure and happiness in his devotion to Guru. Today's discourse is therefore centered on my main aim to project similarities between Shiva Mahapuran, Guru Gita, and Sri Sai Satcharitra. Suta Mahamuni narrated the Shiva Mahapuran to the gathering of Munis and Tapasvis. On the other hand, Hemant Pant, with the blessings of Sainath, had gifted Sai Satcharitra to Sai devotees. Shiva Mahapuran contains 7 important samhitas, namely Vidyeswara, Rudra, Shatarudra, Kotirudra, Uma, Kailasa, Vayaviya Samhita, where Sri Sai Satcharitra has 51 chapters. Guru Gita is a part of Skanda Purana and also known as Sanat Kumara Samhita. The 351 slokas in Guru Gita speaks about the greatness of Guru. I could find all those great qualities in Sri Shirdi Sai Baba. In Vidyeswara Samhita of Shiva Mahapuran, Lord Shiva said, "There is no difference between me and my Shiva Linga, or between Linga and my Murti. Follow the ritual of praying my Linga. Wherever Linga is installed and worshipped on a regular basis, I shall always be present there." In chapter 41 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Shirdi Sai Baba said, "There is no difference between me and my photograph." Baba's statue was installed in Samadhi Mandir after Baba attained Mahasamadhi. Let us remember that there is no difference between Sai and his statue. Sai, in an invisible form, entered Megha's bedroom and sprinkled akshantas and advised him to draw the symbol of Trishul. Next day, a Shivalinga was installed in Gurusthan. Probably that could be the reason behind installation of Nandi facing Sai in every Sai temple. In Rudra Samhita, Brahma said to Narada, "Shiva is present within you, inside me, and in everybody's hearts without exception. Those who believe that entire universe is made of Shiva will certainly be blessed." In the chapter 15 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Baba said, "I am always present in your heart as well as in everybody's hearts. Do worship me." In Vidyeswara Samhita of Shiva Mahapurana, the importance of a Bilva tree is mentioned. Bilva tree is a symbolic of Lord Shiva himself. It is said that those who worship Lord Shiva with leaves of Bilva, flowers, and sandalwood paste would be blessed with a son. Those who light lamps around the tree will be enriched with knowledge about Lord Shiva. Wealth comes to a person worshipping Lord Shiva under the shade of Bilva tree, and thereafter offer a sweet dish made out of the rice and ghee to any other devotee of Lord Shiva. In the chapter 28 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Megha on the day of Makara Sankranti treated Sai as his Lord Shiva and placed leaves of Bilva tree on Baba's head. He offered him bath with the water he carried all the way from the river Godavari, and in the process could win the heart of Sainath. In Rudra Samhita of Shiva Mahapuran, the importance of feeding the poor is highlighted. Merits and demerits of individuals need not be considered while serving food. It is a well-known fact that life is sustained by food, and those who engage in offering food are indirectly giving a new lease of life to the needy. There is no charity greater than offering food to the hungry ones. In the chapter 38 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, the importance of food was mentioned. Baba used to prepare food with his own hands in 2 big vessels and served others. Baba, in his own words, said, "At the noon hour, serve food to anybody coming to your doorstep." Food is considered as Parabrahma Swarupa, that is the source of all energies. Baba used to prepare different dishes like pulao, sweet rice, and at times soup made out of flour and buttermilk for Annadana. We can further know the importance and qualities of Guru from Guru Gita. In the 24th sloka of Guru Gita,
Japastapo vratam tirtham yajno danam tathaiva cha guru tattvam अविज्ञाय सर्वं व्यर्थं भवेत् प्रिये.
Paramashiva said to Parvati, "O dear, a sadhaka observing all rituals like japa, tapa, vrata, yajna and dan all turn out to be useless without understanding Guru and his teachings properly. Therefore, we should understand our Guru very well before beginning any rituals so as to derive the full benefits." The same message was conveyed by Shirdi Sai Baba in the chapter 32 of Sri Sai Satcharitra. He said, "Bookish knowledge is of no use. We should fully discharge all our responsibilities. Treat Guru as God and place your heart and soul at the feet of the Guru. To get such a belief, one must have firm faith in his Guru." In the 29th sloka of Guru Gita,
सर्वतीर्थावगाहस्य सम्प्राप्नोति फलं नरः गुरो पादोदकं पीत्वा शेषं शिरसि धारयन्.
the Shishya who drinks Padatirtha of Guru and sprinkles on his head shall reap the benefit equivalent to that of holy dip in sacred rivers of Ganga and Yamuna. Dasaguna Maharaj, in the chapter 4 of Sai Satcharitra, had sought Baba's permission to go Prayag and have a dip in the sacred rivers of Ganga and Yamuna. Then Baba said, "There is no necessity to go there. Our Prayag is very much here." Believe me, Dasagunu placed his head on the lotus feet of Sainath. Immediately, 2 streams of water were seen gushing out of 2 toes of Baba. Dasagunu sprinkled the water on his head, however later felt sorry for not taking as Baba's Padatirtha. Let us go to 32nd sloka of Guru Gita.
गुरुपादोदकं पानं गुरोरुच्छिष्टभोजनं गुरुमूर्तिः सदा ध्यानं गुरोर्नाम सदा जपः.
Take Gurupadodakam as Tirtha. Install the image of Guru in your heart. Eat the leftover of Guru and always indulge in chanting the name of Guru. Same message is conveyed in Sri Sai Satcharitra. Many devotees washed the feet of Sainath and consumed it as Baba's Padatirtha. They used to massage the feet of Sai and always uttered his name. They used to take food after Baba had taken a part of the food they brought for him. Especially Radhakrishna Mai took food from whatever is left over by Baba. It is mentioned in Guru Gita that chanting the name of Guru is as good as chanting the name of Lord Shiva, who is Ajay, which means one who does not have defeat. In the chapter 4 of Sai Satcharitra, Radhakrishna Mai started Sai Nama Jap and Sai Nama Sankirtana. Sai approved these activities. Sai made Dasaguna Maharaj to perform Akhanda Sai Nama Saptaha. Let us listen to the 37th sloka from Guru Gita.
काशी क्षेत्रं निवासश्च जाह्नवी चरणोदकं गुरुर्विश्वेश्वर साक्षात् तारकं ब्रह्मनिश्चयः.
Wherever Guru resides will be the holy place of Kashi. Guru's Padodakam is the same as Gangajal. Gurudev himself is the Parameshwar. Guru's teaching are the same as the Omkar taught by Parameshwar. In the chapter 4 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Hemad Pant said, Godavari and Krishna are very sacred rivers. Many great saints have taken birth here. Shirdi is in the proximity of the river Godavari. Sainath made his presence in Shirdi and made it sacred place. To Sai devotees, Shirdi is like Pandaripur, Jagannath, Dwaraka, Kashi, Rameshwar, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Trayambakeshwar, Ujjaini, Mahabaleshwar and Gokarna. The touch of Baba is like the effect of Veda Parayana. Sri Sai's darshan is like achieving yoga sadhana. We achieve the same results as that derived from the bathing in Triveni Sangam. The holy Padodakam removes the materialistic desires from us. His word to us is like an order from the Almighty. He is our Parabrahma Swarupa. He is Satchitananda. In the eyes of Meghashama, Baba was Parameshwar. In the 38th sloka of Guru Gita,
Guru Seva Gaya Prokta Deha Syadakshayo Vata Tatpadam Vishnupadam Syat Tatra Datta Manastatam.
wherever Guru's service is undertaken, that place is sacred as Gaya. Gurudev's lotus feet are the same as the feet of the Lord Sri Mahavishnu. The heart and soul offered at the Lord's feet attain Brahmaswarupa. The same essence is conveyed in chapter 46 of Sri Sai's Satcharitra. Shyama was an ardent devotee of Baba. He served Baba in Dwarkamai. He wanted to go to Gaya and asked for Baba's permission. Baba sent him as his representative for attending the thread ceremony of Kakasaheb Dikshit's son at Nagpur and marriage of eldest son of Nanasaheb Chandorkar in Gwalior. Shyama was then to proceed to Kashi, Prayag and Gaya for his pilgrimage. Baba said, "By the time you complete your journey to Kashi and Prayag, I shall meet you in Gaya." Indirectly, Baba wanted to say that Dwarkamai is Gaya for Sai devotees. Shyama performed Guru Seva in Dwarkamai, so Baba appeared to Shyama in the form of his photograph in Gaya. Baba thus conveyed that Shyama had the dual benefit of seeing Baba in Gaya and Dwarkamai. Baba demonstrated Dasaguni Maharaj that his feet are Lord Vishnu's feet by bringing the holy rivers of Ganga and Yamuna to Dwarkamai itself. Thus, devotees who surrendered totally to the feet of Sainath were experiencing Parabrahma in Sai. In the 39th sloka of Guru Gita,
Guru Murtim Smaren Nityam Guror Nama Sada Jape Guror Ajnam Prakurvita Guror Anyanna Bhavaye.
always visualize and chant the name of Guru. Obey the orders of Guru Dev. Never aspire for anything other than Guru's grace. In Sai Satcharitra, one such person who put this into practice is Kakasaheb Dikshit. In the chapter 23 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Baba wanted to test him for devotion towards Guru. He called Kaka and asked him to kill the goat. Kaka said, "Your sweet words are like an order. We do not know any other rule. We always remember you. We shall ever be ready to implement your orders by day and night. We do not know whether it is right or wrong, nor would be interested to know. We shall not enter into any dispute. Our duty is to implement the Guru's order in total." In 50, 51 and 52 slokas of Guru Gita,
Asanam Shayanam Vastram Vahanam Bhushanadikam Sadhakena प्रदातव्यं गुरुसन्तोषकारणम् कर्मणा मनसा वाचा सर्वदा आराधयेद्गुरुं दीर्घदण्डं नमस्कृत्य निर्लज्जो गुरुसन्निधौ शरीरमिन्द्रियं प्राणम् अर्थस्वजनबान्धवान् आत्मदारादिकं सर्वं सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदयेत्.
In order to win the grace of the Guru, one must offer him a seat, a suitable place to sleep, clothes, and jewelry. He must worship Guru by deeds, by heart, and by words. Devotee should utilize his full resources like men, material, and wealth in service of Guru. We can come across the same message in the chapter 6 and 10 of Sai Satcharitra. Devotees have given Baba a seat for sitting in Dwarka Mai, a wooden plank to sleep, and a kafni to wear. They made him to wear ornaments during Sage Aarti. Meghashyam stood on one leg and sang Aarti to Baba. Balaji Patil Nevaskar offered a part of his crop from his fields to Baba every year, besides other humanly services as required from time to time. All the family members of Nevaskar joined him in serving Baba. Baba appreciated their services and presented money and clothes to the entire family of Nevaskar. When complete darkness surrounds our life, one should bow down to a Guru who alone can only open our eyes to kindle the lights of wisdom. In the chapter 18 and 19 of Sai Satcharitra, Baba encouraged following the right path by self-decision. Hemant Pant, before retiring to bed on a Wednesday, decided, tomorrow being Thursday and an auspicious one, I should spend the time doing Ramanama Sankirtana. Sai was very noble and kind-hearted towards his devotees. On Thursday, early morning hours, a beautiful song was heard by someone singing near Dwarka Mai, Guru Krupanjana Payo Mere Bhai. It means that I am blessed to receive the Guru's grace and my eyes are opened up. I am able to see Lord Sri Rama in all states of my mind. In this way, Baba opened up the inner vision of Hemant Pant for real enlightenment of body and soul. Let us all bow down before our Lord Sainath. Now let us listen slokas 80 and 81 of Guru Gita.
एक एव परो बन्धु विषमे समुपस्थिते गुरु सकल धर्मात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. गुरु मध्ये स्थितं विश्वं विश्वमध्ये स्थितो गुरुः. गुरुर्विश्वं न चान्योऽस्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
Only Guru can help us tide over the difficulties. We should bow down before him with full respect. Guru himself is an embodiment of the world. In chapter 33 of Sai Satcharitra, Nana Sahib Chandorkar's daughter Mainatayi was suffering from labor pains. Baba accompanied Bapugir Buwa in role of a Tangawala. He sent Udi from Dwarka Mai through Bapugir Buwa to Nana Sahib Chandorkar and saved her. Again in the chapter 7 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, on the day of Diwali, Baba put his hand into the burning fire of Dhuni in Dwarkamai and saved the child of a blacksmith who had accidentally fallen into the fire from mother's lap. We thus conclude the presence of Guru everywhere. Let us listen to Sloka 113 of Guru Gita.
Svetambaram Svetavilepapushpam Mukta Vibhusham Muditam Dvinetram Vamanka Pithasthita Divyashaktim Mandasmitam Purna Krupanidhanam.
We should bow down before a Sampurna Guru. A Sampurna Guru is the one who always wears white clothes and decorated with flowers and sandalwood paste. He should be wise, wear a pearl necklace, look cheerful in appearance, and possess attractive eyes. He should sit on his left thigh like Lord Shiva, full of compassion and gentle smile on the face. We can come across this message in the chapter 22 of Sai Satcharitra. Let us see how Baba is seated on the granite stone. What a pleasant sight it is. His right leg is resting on the left leg's knee. Throughout his life, Baba always wore white kafani. Mahilsapati applied sandalwood paste to his neck. When people chanted Sej Arati in Chavdi, devotees put pearl necklace around his neck. Let us all recollect those beautiful things and enjoy to our heart's contentment, imagining the Guru's Divya Swarupa. In the Sloka 174 of Guru Gita,
Ekaki Nispruha Shanta Chinta Asuya Vivarjita Balya Bhavena Yobhati Brahmagyani Savuchyate.
Brahmagyani is a noble soul, living all alone, unmindful of the surroundings, peace-loving, free from all sorrows, avarice, possessing a shining face resembling that of an innocent child. We can come across the same verdict in chapter 4 of Sai Satcharitra. Baba first appeared as a young boy of 16 years under the neem tree in the year 1854. Externally, he gave an impression of Brahmagyani. He never aspired for anything worldly even in dreams. In the Sloka 179 of Guru Gita,
Yata Parama Kaivalyam Guru Margena Vaibhavet Guru Bhakti Rata Karya Sarvada Moksha Kankshibhi.
Those who walk on the path shown by Guru are sure to attain salvation. All those who desire to work for self-realization must have devotion towards their Guru. The same message is conveyed in the chapter 31 of Sai Satcharitra. The people who attend moksha in Sai's Darbar are Vijayanand, Balaram Mankar, Tatya Sabnolkar, and Meghashyam. Let us also follow the footsteps shown by our Sadguru and work towards achieving something worthy in this life. Jai Sai Ram. Jai Sai Ram.